Yes. And speaking of forgiveness and humanity, let's go into compassion. And one of the people you highlight as a luminary is Pope Francis. What did you learn from Pope Francis in your encounter?
Pope Francis was another unusual, unplanned, amazing encounter. With the foundation, I was working with a young man who was walking throughout Europe trying to highlight some of the issues of child sexual abuse that he himself had experienced within his family. And our foundation helped him with, he was taking a caravan and literally walking throughout 28 countries, literally. So it was a 2-year program. And part of this program was meeting ambassadors, meeting country heads, going to the United Nations, which a lot of it I helped to set up since that was the world I usually function in. And we were able to meet the Pope. And when we got an invitation to meet the Pope, I thought that we were going to be one of the 2,000 people. When we arrived there, the people that people see in the Beefeater suit actually showed us to a corridor. We went through the corridor. And when we came out of it, we were shocked because we were literally sitting in the first row. So we were in the first row. The first row was only about 16 seats. The second, third, fourth, and fifth row were people who were married. So couples who had just married that were going to get a blessing from the Pope.
Mm.
And then behind that was about 2,000 people within one of their smaller churches. All right. In the Vatican, in the Vatican in Italy. And what I say for him is that the fact that first of all, I'm not Catholic. So I went there, but I didn't go there with the same expectations and the same feelings as a Catholic person would.
Yes.
Okay. And so as a result of that, I didn't really look for or count on any kind of special feeling.
Mm.
I was there. It was important for me to be there. But when I went, I'd also decided that at the time, my youngest daughter, the one who was also with Archbishop Desmond Tutu, was suffering from, she's okay now, but she had blood cancer.
Oh.
And I thought, you know what? If I can go to the Buddhist, I could go to the Christian, I can go to the AME, wherever, to give me prayers. I would like to focus these prayers on this child, to save this child. And I brought the picture with me. And I was the fourth person that he talked to. I mean, out of everybody. So I was shocked once again. Right. And I had the picture, and he asked me for the picture, which I thought was very unusual. And he picks up the picture and looks at it. And he asked me who is it, and I said, this is my daughter. And he asked me, what is it? And I tell him. And he says that he'll pray. And the people around him are saying, okay, it's time to move on. And he's like, no. And that really surprised me and when I say people, I mean, there's a videographer, a photographer, 5 or 6 bishops around him, and they basically lead him from place to place. And he basically told them no. And he took my hand and he took the picture and he made a prayer. And I was stunned at his compassion because it was real. It wasn't contrived. It wasn't in his title. It wasn't in all of the pomp and circumstances around us. It wasn't in the people that were with him. In that moment, in those moments, all those people didn't exist. The only person he cared about was me and my daughter, and prayers for my daughter. Wow. And that for me was just absolutely life-changing.
Thank you for telling these stories of just compassion, because again, we're unveiling humanity. It's there. You just have to see it through these people. And sometimes these stories from people that we admire or have heard about through history bring that humanity to a real centered level.